Hi, and welcome to our presentation on the Central Station Precinct and Sustainability. My name's Pat.
I'm Joe.
I'm Maxim.
I'm Connor.
And I'm Max.
This presentation will outline our vision for the precinct, our engagement with stakeholders, and our proposed redevelopments.
As New South Wales' busiest and largest station, Central has transformed into an integral aspect of the City of Sydney and the daily lives of countless individuals who rely heavily on using it for commuting or leisurely purposes. This was taken into account when the initial redesign of the station began to formulate, with additional emphasis being placed upon the notion of the building being heritage listed, as well as the traditional custodians of the land being the First Nations people. Our project focuses on converting Central Station into the epitome of sustainability through social, environmental and economic reforms and ideas. We aim to idealise Central Station into an epicentre of sustainability, following our primary and most significant idea of moving all the trains underground, which will provide extensive benefits and, albeit costs, to all three spheres of sustainability intrinsically. Our consideration of relevant stakeholders has been analysed and their importance has been reiterated by our mentor.
We have identified the First Nations and homeless communities as our two most important stakeholder groups. Aside from these chief stakeholders, we have also consulted business owners, commuters, and residents of the surrounding area in order to understand their desires for a sustainable Central Station precinct. For all our stakeholders, our redevelopment aims to lay the groundwork for a socially sustainable future which embraces all Australians, based on mutual respect and shared responsibility for our land. Our stakeholder engagement strategy uses direct and indirect methods in order to achieve the best possible approach to redevelopment. This strategy includes consultation with City of Sydney Council reports and peer-reviewed research, both of which provide us with specific and specialised information on our chief stakeholders and provide evidence that our proposed redevelopments will lead to proven benefits. In addition, we have directly consulted with certain stakeholder groups through our stakeholder engagement survey, which canvasses online respondents and collates data on their attitudes towards our three sustainability spheres. Analysis of this data has allowed us to develop more informed redevelopment proposals, which closely align with the interests of the wider community. Such engagement with our stakeholders has allowed us to propose developments that embody a multifaceted view of sustainability.
In order to improve upon social sustainability in and around the Central Station area, we have incorporated a number of initiatives into our project that take account of stakeholder considerations. We've attempted to keep these social elements of our project realistic and relatively small scale to balance out the radical changes we propose in both the economic and environmental sustainability spheres, such as moving train lines underground. These social initiatives include an increase in greenery and communal space, which is one of the largest benefits to moving trains underground, and is connected to biophilia, which is the human love for nature. An incentivization for local workers, which would take place mainly through apprenticeships, which is also an economic advantage. Acknowledgement of the First Nations community, specifically the Gadigal tribe of the Eora Nation, on whose ancestral lands the station is built. Reduce speed limits around the station for safety and to create a family-friendly environment. And aid given to the homeless through the construction of both a homeless shelter as well as affordable accommodation in order to help them in the long and short term.
Thanks, Maxim. Central Station is one of Sydney's primary transport hubs and is integral to local and distant stakeholders. Our group has looked at ways to build environmental sustainability measures into Central Station that are impactful and will be resilient to the effects of climate change. Through analysis of Central's whole-of-life environmental costs, we identified that energy use for day-to-day operations and the volume of inorganic materials carried the biggest environmental toll. Looking at Central's energy demand, we realised that Central has considerable untapped energy supply. By capturing the kinetic energy of braking trains and integrating solar panels, Central can significantly decrease its reliance on the grid energy. Central is a large station that necessitates significant material usage. However, modern material science allows us more than ever to integrate recycled materials into the structure, and the use of prefabricated construction techniques exert half the environmental burden of traditional methods. Furthermore, an expansive park will act as a carbon sequester, actively reducing the carbon footprint of Central Station. The green space of the park, in conjunction with pervious concrete on the surface, act as temperature modulators, reducing the urban heat island effect, becoming more impactful as temperatures become more volatile with climate change.
Thanks for that, Connor.
As a group, we acknowledge the potential for massive economic growth catalysed by an extreme surge in foot traffic in the area. The local economy can leverage strong growth off our development from the introduction of many small businesses and the employment of individuals from the homeless and First Nations communities. All businesses will receive huge exposure to all people passing through Central Station, triggering large business expansion. We want businesses to know their survival is a priority to us. So we have reduced relative rent costs across the board with further rent reductions for businesses with low excess waste and businesses who fulfil and exceed the mandatory quota to employ the First Nations and homeless individuals. The agglomeration of many businesses will require improvements to the supply chain. Joint ventures and sourcing from local and sustainable suppliers can reduce transportation costs and pollution, contributing to economic stimulus whilst also maintaining sustainable practices. Policymakers and the local government can get in on the action too and facilitate business growth by making available extra capital, affordable premises, and startup financing. Our proposal presents a lucrative opportunity to the local government of Central, one that brings substantial economic gains, which would be foolish to ignore and forego.
Thanks for listening to our presentation. My name's been Pat.
I'm Joe.
I'm Maxim.
I'm Connor.
And I'm Max. Stay classy.